welcome to Leap Taken. Here at Leap Taken, I talk all things witchy, craft-related, law of attraction, manifesting, esoteric, and everything else in between. And today I want to talk about a couple of different topics, kind of like an update on me as well. Still kind of in the mood of gratitude, coming from Lammas, Lunasad, or our first harvest, which was August 1st. So I want to start with that. Let's talk about gratitude a little bit. I did a ritual where I basically listed everything that I was legitimately grateful for, that I harvested in a metaphysical sense from spells, rituals, magic, the magic that I perform to make those things come into my reality. And I had a long list, and I'm very grateful for that. One of the reasons you want to do magical record keeping, by the way, so you can list all of your accomplishments, your goals that you've accomplished, and just all the things, the results of your spells, because that's my first harvest. I wanted to give gratitude to myself. I wanted to give gratitude to the universe, to my deities that I work with, to my ancestor, spirit guides, higher self. So gratefully, I was in a position where I could talk about that, and I felt such pure joy during that ritual, which is always a positive thing, of just even out loud speaking about those things. And I'm grateful I had an audience willing to hear it and who were cheering me on and happy for me, as I was for them. This was with my coven, by the way, the ritual. It got me really thinking more about gratitude, and got me thinking, why was I able to have such a long list? What's different than, I'm not even going to compare myself to anyone else, but just me in years past. I've been practicing magic and witchcraft for some time. I just was thinking, like, why was the list so long now? What's different? What has been different? And I've gone over a host of different reasons why that might be, what my case is specifically. I want to talk about, this is the next topic into this, and I really thought into it on why that is. It is because at the stage I'm at now, I believe it. It being, when I do a spell, I know it's going to work. Why? Because I literally have proof. Sometimes we need proof. And I think I've been one of those people the whole time practicing magic. It is hard to just go on the strength of, the magic is going to work, or the faith that it's going to work, or the belief in that it's going to work, when you've had a lot of rough starts in the past, and a lot of times where it feels like the rug has been pulled from underneath of you by believing in someone or something in the past. You have too many examples of that. So how do I just all of a sudden have this blind faith? One, I don't have blind faith. I have become the magic, if that makes sense. It's more than just a shift. It is a deep rooted, like, you have got to plant seeds in your mind where it becomes your persona. It becomes who you are. Women specifically, I watch women do this. I probably have been guilty over the years. When you get married, there's the societal norms, there's the things you might have been taught. If you had a model of what marriage looks like, even if you don't necessarily identify with it, you've never been a wife before, so you just start doing the things you think you're supposed to do as a wife, and you make it your personality. Same thing with motherhood. You do the things because you think you're supposed to do it. It doesn't matter where it's coming from or why. That's not the point of this. The point is you follow suit. You go through with the actions of performing this role. Not really comprehending there's other ways for you to do it, but you perform it, you go all in, and you become, the mother who puts herself last and the kids first, and then the husband first. Or you become the wife who has taken on a lion's share of, just the running of the family, the household. and you don't even understand how you got there. Technically you volunteered, but you took on this role that's not even who you were as, your personality. That was never who you were, but you assumed that role because that's what you thought you were supposed to be. Again, it's not so much on where it's coming from or the actions. It's more about you taking on roles and taking on a certain mindset, and then your actions just carry it out. Being a witch, this is something in the same way you did that, the motherhood role where, you went so far in, you've lost yourself, except it doesn't have to have that effect. How about in the same way you're able to put yourself into those roles, put yourself into the role that you really are a magical being, that when you cast spells, they really work. Live that. That is really what I mean by being living a magical lifestyle. And I know that's like a crazy example, but I had to get your attention, make you think, because that's really how it is. Men do this as well. This idea of what it means to be a man, and they sometimes do certain things or not do certain things because they think that's the role they're supposed to be playing. But it's intentional. They're intentionally doing things that can have effects, consequences. I'm telling you to be intentional. Put yourself in a role as that magical being whose spells work. I did that. I did the motherhood thing. I did the wife thing twice. I did that. So I know what I'm talking about. Those are the most extreme cases where I can say you alter your entire personality and your mindset, your decisions, and everything moving forward. This is on that level. And because I took it to that level is why I had such a laundry list, a long list of items to be grateful for. Because I believe it. I internalize this stuff. There's a whole pathway to that. Again, it starts with a belief. Yes, it starts with accepting a role. You define the role, though. This is not something where I would tell you how to be, how to act, what to think. You're going to have to come up with that yourself, because that live out those fantasies, but in real life. For me, I'm a cottage witch. Once I kind of came to that determination and used that terminology, it affected what I wanted to manifest. I wanted to live in a cottage. I live in a cottage. As a cottage witch, the home is primary and the focus. My home, if anyone who knows me personally knows, I don't play about home, the vibe, the energy. I don't play about decorations because they're intentional. I live by the wheel of the year, which is part of my practice. That is very evident and very obvious. That is how I am. From a surface point of view, it just looks like a visual thing. Oh, she just likes this. It's not just visual for me. There's deeper meaning to that. If you're interested in hearing more about that, definitely go to my other channel, Magical Lifestyle of a Cottage Witch, here on YouTube. And I will have a link in the description. Realize I hadn't been doing that. There will be a link in the description where I basically am showing you a little bit more intimately my practice as a cottage witch. Here, it's more witchcraft, esoteric, and everything else in between. But there, I'm specifically showing practices and how I live a magical lifestyle. So living like that, once I kind of accepted that and stepped into the role, the path was laid out in front of me. So when I talk about what path are you on, I felt like more of the path was exposed the more I assumed my role. And the role becomes who I am over time. There is no separation, and that's where I'm at now. That is, to me, how you see some people where it's how are they not missing? Wow, they seem to be doing, especially people who are spiritual, pagan, and the umbrella of paganism under that. You look at other people, and it's not from a place of envy or jealousy, it's observation. You're seeing it, especially social media. Side note about that. It sounds like I can't complete a thought. I swear I can. But side note, Cap, I just want a little note about that. Not everybody is lying to you on social media. I hear that a lot. Oh, people on social media, it's all a lie. Everything's fake. Nothing's real. Do you know the people I have taken people I personally know, I see other people on social media saying this about others, and I have noticed something. A lot of times, the people who were the loudest saying things like that, like, oh, everybody's lying on social media, none of it's real. The thing that I have picked up on is that they themselves are miserable. There is the assumption that almost everybody else is too. If they're not miserable, they're wanting, they're in a space of, they're in a space of lack, and they're usually seeing other people have things they think they should have. So it can't be real. There's more to the story. There's more to that story. I don't believe everything I see on social media. So individuals like someone like me sitting here and they're talking about, oh, well, we just bought this beautiful home, and they're touring the home, and then later you find out it was an Airbnb and stuff like that. Okay, that happens. We know that. But it depends on a person. If you've been following for a while, a lot of people are very open about their journey. Hey, you remember when they were in their apartment and they were struggling. You remember when they, moved in with somebody, they met somebody and they put their money together. Like, you can see the evolution, so it makes sense that they're in this really nice house. You, the viewer, you've been watching, they've invited you in to glimpses of their life, so you've seen it, so you know that's not fake. So I don't get that, especially, again, in the pagan world, although there are people, grifters and stuff like that. We know they exist. But everyone's not lying. Everyone's not exaggerating. I completely manifested the life that I'm living right now. Because I know that I did that, like, this stuff is raw, pure magic. The way everything has worked out and is inactively working for me, I know that anything else I do will work because I now have proof. I literally have proof that it worked. I have the proof, I'm living proof that it works. That confidence makes it so that my spells are successful. That knowing makes it so that I can accomplish even more. That also makes it possible for me to help other people, because I'm not just talking out the side of my neck. I know this is real. I know it can really work. I know it can work for other people, not just for me. I don't come to this magical world. I don't come to this knowing, thinking, well, I'm special because I'm special. It happens for me and no one else. I know that's not true because I've helped other people, but now that would get dangerous, because I know there are people who kind of present it like that, like with their help, but not, I want to help you, mentor you, or guide you. I don't want to do the work for you and then I snap my finger and now you have everything that you want. I don't think that's how anyone should be helping anyone, to be honest. That's why I'm I'm okay with providing information for a spell or ritual. I'm not okay with doing the spell or ritual for you. I will currently working on still building my knowledge around Reiki and offering that as a service eventually on my website. If you see any, I don't know if it's in the, I don't think it's in the frame, but I have my certificates. I'm a certified Reiki master. Distance Reiki is something I can't wait to start doing, but I am honing that craft before, I actually make it available. And soon, I'm just going to cross my fingers. I'm the one guiding this. Soon, I'll feel more ready to do that. But yeah, like, because I'm on a tangent about this, but I've sat and I've just had this moment on how, like, I remember doing spells and it kind of it works, especially like money spells. It's like little trickles of money here and there, or desire, love spells, that sort of stuff. And it was like, it would be in that moment, that day, that moment, but like, you're back to arguing, kitchen magic where, you cook a certain meal, and it was like, yeah, in that moment, in that meal, right afterwards, everything was this way. And then it, situations would change right after it. Potions, all types of things, enchanted jewelry. And I used to just feel like it was just very, I always had that. It used to feel like a small window that the magic would work in, or small amounts, increments. And so it was working, and that kept me going. I think if nothing ever worked, that probably would have really threw me off. But I was able to tap into the magic that is within to make these things happen. So I had a good foundation, but there was always that additional block. So once I did it, I believed it. I assumed the role of the witch, and then I became the witch. And since I truly, truly believe I am a witch in the truest of sense, what does a witch do? She can cast spells. She can make magic, right? So therefore, if I believe it, even if you're like on a fence and just you're in a world of law of attraction and you're in a world about just manifesting, even if you believe that, so these are like daily affirmations. I remember a point even speaking affirmations years ago of saying that I'm a witch, I'm a powerful witch. I would say that to myself. I kind of do it sometimes every now and then, like I'll speak that affirmation to myself. I'm not even like, it's not even, it's more subconscious. I'm not even, it's definitely the higher self taking over, just reaffirming and making sure, we continue and grow from that place as opposed to trying and trying to work with it. And, I'm already there. I'm not trying anything. I'm there and just kind of maintaining and then growing from that point. Um, yeah, this is just, I've been really thinking about that because I'm stepping into something even more greater for my life. And I know everything is up. Challenges come and go. So, that's life. That's the human experience. But I'm on the up. I'm on the up. And I'm going to stay up for some time. I think probably forever. I claim that. Forever. But yeah, I am in a space of gratitude because I became who I wanted to be. I am her. It's going to be interesting because we're going to be coming up on Samhain. Samhain, I identify as the Witch's New Year. So with that, I created like new vision boards. I have a vision board book. I've looked at that to sort of also look to see since Samhain, where am I? I don't look at that book. Sometimes throughout the year between Samhain to the next Samhain, I might take a glimpse 1-2 times, but I don't look at that. It's not the same as a vision. It's a magical book. It's a vision board book, but I cast spells on it on Samhain to activate. But I don't actually. My intention is not to treat it like a vision board that I have on my wall, and I keep looking to remind myself. It's more like a spell. It's really a spell book, a visual spell book. You should do that. You should do that if you haven't already. You can do your vision boards, which I do. More like January 1st with the more traditional time to do a vision board book or vision board. But my vision board book, get a notebook, add, your imagery, write out things, however you want to organize it. And I have it. I started this will be the 4th year that I think I'll be doing it. This in keeping in this book. I have dividers that I'll be adding to this book this coming Samhain. But when I look at that, those some of those things have happened already. And I'm very grateful to that. I mean, it's August, so good. I mean, that was the plan. But yeah, I look at that and I find it interesting. I'm always still a little bit surprised at magic, even though I know it's going to come true. I marvel at just how powerful we are. Magic is real. Me doing the things that I do, casting spells, it's just something that is not able to be quantified by, the powers that be at this time. So it doesn't make it less to me. It makes it more. Just because they don't understand doesn't discount my understanding and my experience, my field experience. This stuff is really happening. It is very real. So where I'm at today in a state of like where we're going with this channel, I will continue to post here regularly. We're going to be picking up now here going into the fall, so I'll be back to more consistent postings and, being on live and things like that. So I definitely want to keep that schedule up. Over time, I might start trying some new things out and adding some different things, or like I over the summer, a couple times I sort of popped up on live as opposed to doing a traditional video. My intention is to do that a little bit more. One, I find editing to get on my nerves sometimes, and it takes too long and it takes away the fun of this. As far as growing the channel, I'm overall comfortable with the growth of the channel. I am sometimes surprised at just how much but some videos get views and others don't. Like, that still confuses me. To this day, like, I can go and I'll see I have like hundreds, I'll have 1,000 over here, and I'll have like 23 views over the next set of videos, and I don't really understand how that is even possible. But I do a little research to find out like what are the topics, keeping to my authentic truth and what I want to talk about, what I want to present. So I don't really understand it, and I don't really care to figure it out. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy sharing, and I figured for the people who want to see this and the people these videos reach, it's meant to reach them, and I just take it from there. I would like to share a little bit more about my practice without it overlapping too much on my new channel that I started. However, as time has gone on, I'm really just not comfortable sharing actual spells, like me working spells, glimpses, parts, talking about it, but like from beginning to end, filming me doing something. And I have done that. You can find videos here where I've done that. I just don't trust the energy. I don't trust it. And that's something I am a little concerned about. I see other people showing things. I get concerned. I also, even with like live readings or doing readings, general readings, I get the spirit's telling me that's not my path. Now, for my paid members, if you join Leap Taken membership here, that is something that I felt led to do. Intuitively, it felt right, and I feel very good about it. And that's behind a paywall. Those are paid subscribers. If you're interested, go ahead and click on that join link. By the way, there are perks like that. But I feel like that is a contained group of people, and I'm genuinely feeling the energy. And I feel like some of this lands where it's supposed to land with each member. So that feels right, as opposed to here where I don't feel that. I feel like this is a little too public. It's a little too public, and Spirit just tell me I don't know if I'll ever do live readings here like that, or just like a general type reading. I don't know. Something, and no problem. I don't have any shade to anybody else who's doing that, but because I watch other people do that too. But I don't know. I don't know about I'm a one-on-one girl or small like group type thing. I offer readings as a service, so I like to get in with you. I'm gonna let's work it out together type person. I'm low key. If you ever watch, I never watched her whole show, Drew Barrymore, her show where she gets on the couch and she's like this close to your face and she's talking like. I'm a little bit like that, a little bit. There's professionalism, but I was like, no, let's work through your problem. Let's talk it out. I'm that type of witch, that type of reader. Like I want to solve it for you. I want you to walk away, even if you have more questions. At least the first set of questions got answered. Yeah. So that's hard to do in a general reading. I don't like that energy. Maybe live. I thought maybe live. That way I could get the feedback that I need. I don't know. I'm still thinking about that, adding that as a component in here. I'm going to keep thinking on it and checking in with Spirit. But yeah. Outside of that, So yeah, I'm not too much of the hands-on spell stuff. Glimpses, parts where I'll talk about certain things. But I have a host of videos where I talk about candle magic, where I talk about all that sort of stuff. Now, if you like the nitty-gritty stuff like that, I do share more of that on the membership again because I feel like those are more serious. They're more serious about it. So I feel comfortable working role spells. So I actually show myself working role spells. There's a series that's part of the membership where I will use a movie, a book, or some other media, and I will pick out a spell and I will work it. And then I come back and tell you if it worked or not and let you know the results, so to speak, from that spell. So there's that on that channel. So that's where I get to show real magic. You get to see me casting a circle. I'm really doing magic over there. So if you really like to want to see that and you were hoping to see it, it's behind the membership. But here, parts, pieces. But enough if you watch enough videos, you could probably put it together. Either way. But yeah, that's just sort of an update on the channel. I'll be back to regularly posting over the summer. I've definitely kind of just allowed more loosey-goosey schedule of posting because I just needed that time. I also, I traveled a little bit over the summer. I did some other things. So yeah, it was just good to kind of just take a little time off from trying to keep up and come up with ideas and all that sort of stuff and, just keep to a schedule. But I'm actually looking forward to getting back to my normal kind of posting schedule and recording. And I kind of like that level of keeping busy. But I think like I said, I want to do more lives and just, do it like that. I like doing lives. I like the interaction. I like knowing someone else is talking back. It's better sometimes. But yeah, and I was even thinking about when I do my journal pages, like making that like a little sesh where we all get together. So you can bring your magical journals and book shadows and whatever grimoires, and we can be setting up together and doing it at the same time. Now I have a Discord channel, a safe place for witches. Leap Taken, safe place for witches on Discord. It is a hit or miss thing over there. Sometimes we get a little bit more active than other times. I'm going to keep that space going, even if it's kind of lulling in the moment, but I figure it's the summertime that happens. So like events, things like that, like virtual events, like my Samhain, I'm going to do a Samhain party, a virtual event, bring your cocktail, come dressed up. Do whatever you want, try to make it fun and all that sort of stuff. I'm going to do it again this year. I'm looking forward to that actually. And, any other kind of impromptus like Book of Shadow days where, like a show and tell type stuff. I would like to do that. Like I said, it's a hit or miss sometimes, but I'm going to do it anyway because if you build it, they will come. I still believe that's true. So I'm still going to keep going with that. Book reviews are coming back more. I have been very open about I have just been going through some crazy hormonal stuff. I wasn't reading as much, so I feel better now. So I'm out of that part. I don't. Hopefully it doesn't come back, but I feel more like myself, and myself is someone who reads a lot. So more book reviews. Look for that soon. I miss doing that. I miss getting really excited about a book and coming on live and talking about it. So I feel like I haven't done that as well and as much because I just haven't been able to finish books and read them like I used to. So there's that. But outside of that, hopefully you stay with the channel. Hopefully you lasted with me through this summer break-ish where I wasn't posting as much. So officially September kind of starts where I'm back to normal, where you have at least 2 videos a week and a live. And on my other channel, I post once a week. For now, I feel comfortable doing that, and I try to make it quality over quantity over there. So there's that. And I had talked about building courses and stuff like that as a service, and I just reached a brick wall mentally with that, and I kind of sat it down, picked it up, sat it down, picked it up, and I'd love to pick it back up again. So that's something I'm excited about, but that's something I'm not even going to talk into more because I don't have it all together yet. I've just had some different ideas, and there's something else you guys have no knowledge about that I'm working on and testing out for the future, hopefully going into next year. So yeah, so there's some really positive things to look forward to manifest, to do spell work for, as far as I'm concerned. And there's so much that I'm grateful for. And one more thing about seasons and things like that. So as someone who lives by the wheel of the year, I make my own version of it. It's not weather necessarily. When I say wheel of the year, well, it's hot outside. So how was it the fall? No, we don't do that. I live in a desert. It's never going to be the fall as I'm accustomed to. I grew up in the northeast of the United States. So no, it's never going to feel like that. It's a mindset. It's a magical mindset as well for me. Also, I feel like I'm creating it. So I've taken liberties. For instance, I've already started putting up Halloween decor in my home. I think I shared some Halloween haul here, just a little bit, but more of that is kind of building. And I'll share more here, but I've also kind of more in detail shared on my other channel, Magical Lifestyle of a Cottage Witch. But yeah, I am creating my own shifts, living closely still by the dates in the wheel of the year. The summer started earlier for me than it did for others. Spring, yeah, a little bit, but like it felt like summer. So I've kind of just been on my summer vibe for some time. So I'm already doing the transition because there's not to me like a hard start and stop per se. It is more of a transitioning. There's some in and out of certain seasons and the spirit that comes with that. So for me, going into talking about the first harvest, which is Lammas, and then we have Mabon and then Samhain and so forth. For me, these are states of gratitude. These are, and it's not a one day feeling happy and grateful and I'm back to whatever else. Everything else starts to influence it. Like the way I start thinking about the future, the way I start thinking about my present, and how I kind of look back on the past. This is all very fluid and happening throughout my days on just an everyday basis as I navigate my everyday rituals. So it's all very fluid to me. So August doesn't seem strange to have Halloween decorations up because I'm preparing going into September and then October, and then eventually. What I start thinking about after October and November, I'm already thinking about Yule and what that represents and the energy. So there's like the blurring of the time, where I'm transitioning. So it might look like I'm putting up decorations or I'm talking about certain themes way too early or way too late. But to me, it's all very fluid. It's not just within this date to this date and that's it, because I just don't accept that. And I live my life by the wheel of the year, so that's why it works for me. It also helps you with how you do your magic. This idea of routines. And I know I love a good routine video. I love watching YouTube people do like their morning routine or nighttime routine, magical or not. I find those things fascinating. It's just interesting to see what people do sometimes. And I like watching that. It's kind of like the voyeur in me is appeased when I do that. So I enjoy the concept of routines. I even talk about magical routines. And I think it's good because routines can become rituals. The thing is, there's this idea that you do this routine indefinitely. Well, what I do in the summer, as I'm transitioning from summer to fall, in the fall, as I'm transitioning, and so forth, that changes. Because if I'm living as close to nature as I can, realistically, that's just not possible. The days are getting shorter, right? The wheel is turning, everything, it's not staying the same. The sun used to set or used to come up a lot earlier, and now I'm noticing it's starting to rise a little bit later gradually. over time, and that's what it's supposed to do. That affects my sleep. That affects how I feel. That so how late am I staying up? So now I stay up later. I wake, or other times I wake up earlier. That changes the routines on what I would like to do during the day. Once I'm awake or once I'm ready to go to sleep, it's all nothing is the same. So your routines are not going to stay the same. I think this translates to practitioners as well, with this idea of always doing a certain routine and doing things the same way. It's good to shake things up. It's good to, even if you're not comfortable with not having sort of control over that part of your magic, the wheel of the year is your opportunity to kind of relinquish a little bit more control, but in a kind of controlled way. So the type of spell work you do, your routines that you do, they're not, they're changing based on, the season that you're in. This also helps with magical burnout. This also helps with just becoming disenchanted with the idea of practicing magic, or just bored with how you do, because it's a new opportunity for you to do something a little bit different in how you approach your spirituality. So that's just a tip as well. This is a very rambly, chatty, catch up, sit down type talk, but I kind of wanted to share where I'm at, what I've been doing, how I've been feeling here about the channel, about Leap Taken and the direction. And, if you've been wondering how she doesn't post like she used to, because I never made a formal sort of video explaining that I would be sort of taking an in and out type of summer break. But that's what's been going on. And it's about summer is, we're coming to a close. We're transitioning out of it. So I've marked the idea of in September of sort of just kind of getting back on track to how things were, with some changes, because I like to, refresh the space a little bit here. And yeah, let's see how it goes. So I appreciate you for watching the channel. I appreciate every view that I get. I appreciate every like, every comment, and my members specifically. I appreciate you supporting here at Leap Taken, supporting me, believing in me. I want to continue to honor that commitment to your membership by giving you quality, content as well. And for the viewer who's watching this as well, you could be watching anybody else's channel, and I appreciate you for watching mine. All right, so I'll end it here. All right, I hope everyone enjoyed these last days of summer as we begin to transition into fall. And all the new opportunities that come with it. All right, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and all that YouTube stuff. I appreciate you. All right, bye.